When shopping for a new gaming monitor, a lot of gamers eventually come to a fork in the road, where they have to decide between a flat or curved display. But what if I told you the folks at Corsair have partnered with LG to design a monitor with a bendable OLED that lets you set the curvature of the display from completely flat to an 800R curve and anywhere in between? Last week, Corsair stopped by my studio to let me test drive their mostly functional prototype, so I could make this video and give you all the deets on their Xeneon Flex 45WQHD 240 OLED. Amidst the exciting opportunity, a wild Paul appeared to shoot a video for his channel as well. But knowing Paul as well as I do, I think he just missed me. Right off the bat, the Xeneon Flex won't be ready until late this year or early 2023. And although we're still ways out from any pricing details, I would love to hear in the comments what you think a fair price tag would be. Maybe wait till the end of the video to decide that though.
Before we continue, special thanks to Acronis CyberProtect Home Office for sponsoring this video. Formerly known as Acronis True Image, Acronis CyberProtect Home Office is the ultimate cyber protection solution, offering secure backups and anti-malware. So instead of having to pay for two standalone services, their two-in-one solution will save you a ton of money over time, while reducing the complexity of having to manage two or more solutions. Choose the protection plan that best suits your needs, with the highest plan supporting up to 5 computers and offering up to 5 terabytes of cloud storage. Backup literally anything and everything: files, programs, settings, and even your full system. Whether your PC dies, gets stolen, or blows up because you let me borrow it, you can restore all backed up information to new hardware at any time. Since your computer and precious files should be protected at all costs, you can rest assured that any backups you create are safe from cyber threats, viruses, and data corruption. Knowing that your devices and backups are secure offers a peace of mind that you can't really put a price on. If you're ready to give your PC the protection it deserves, just click on the link in the description below.
The technical specs of this monitor are downright impressive, but since the bendable OLED is the real star of the show here, let's dive into that first. Adjusting the display's curve is a relatively straightforward process of popping out the rear handles on either side and using them to manually set your preferred curvature. But there were a few limitations with the very early prototype Corsair brought over. For one, the handles had to be pulled out directly, whereas the final version will have a button near each handle that pops them out automatically. The trickier caveat was that the prototype's display was pretty stiff when trying to bend it, which made adjusting the curve kinda difficult and awkward. There's a support handle at the bottom of the panel which definitely helps, particularly when returning the display to a fully flat position. Due to the early prototype woes, I can't really speak to the ease and ergonomics of adjusting the display's curve, but Corsair assured Paul and I that both the screen stiffness and handle issues will be ironed out, so we should be getting a more polished experience with the final retail model. Regardless of the direction you're bending the display, an audible click from each handle occurs to indicate when the OLED has been bent to its furthest point. I wasn't aware of this when I first bent the monitor and nearly shit my pants when I heard the clicks, thinking I had just cracked a priceless artifact. Thankfully, I wasn't permanently blacklisted by Corsair that day. I'll admit it would have been insanely cool to get a motorized display that adjusts the curve at the click of a button or mouse, but I suppose the additional cost that would entail keeps me from being too sad. The monitor can achieve a max curve of 800R, which is super immersive and awesome. Remember that the smaller the number before the R, the more aggressive the curve. That said, you can also set the panel to any curve within its bending range to suit your preferences. For what it's worth, each side of the display is bent independently, allowing you to set different curves for each side. Paul and I spent some time pondering what scenarios this would be useful for, and I eventually determined that's a question best left answered by all of you. Like any product, this monitor isn't going to appeal to everyone. Some gamers only want a flat display, and others only want one that's curved. But for anyone who sees the value in both, the Flex might be the answer to their prayers. Personally, I always prefer a flat screen for daily tasking, productivity, video playback, and gaming while streaming, but over the years I've grown to love curved panels for things like shooters, simulators, and open world games. Having a monitor that does both almost feels like cheating, bypassing the need to choose between two displays, or God forbid, purchasing both of them for different use cases. Apart from the bendable OLED, the Xeneon Flex is loaded with juicy specs. It has a huge 45-inch 21:9 display with a 3440x1440 resolution, giving it more surface area than the 49-inch Samsung G9, along with more vertical space to avoid feeling squished down. In my opinion, the Flex offers a nice sweet spot, since 16:9 can lack real estate, while 32:9 can be too much in one direction and not enough in the other. Having a significantly larger screen than most other 21:9 panels also allows the Flex to envelop a phenomenal amount of your vision, even when the display is as flat as a pancake. It features a speedy 240Hz refresh rate with a gray-to-gray response time of 0.03 milliseconds, which is just bananas. Corsair credits LG's OLED technology for making this possible, and I personally found any ghosting or motion blur while playing fast-paced games like CSGO to be imperceptible. A slowed-down look at the Blurbuster's UFO test reveals a hint of motion blur. Yes, it is there, but it's effectively reduced to a negligible amount. As expected on a display of this caliber, certification for G-Sync compatibility and FreeSync Premium adds to the buttery smooth gameplay, ensuring minimal screen tearing and low input lag. As mentioned, this is an OLED display, so every pixel is self-lit rather than being illuminated by a backlight, and the benefits of this are huge. True deep blacks, outstanding contrast, a wider brightness range with auto HDR and 1000 nit brightness, and an impressively wide 99% DCI-P3 color gamut. Currently, the overall image quality of OLED displays is unmatched. Nearly all of my experience gaming on OLEDs is from playing on the LG C9 TV in my living room for the last few years, and I'm not sure if I've ever used a display that's made games look better. The Xeneon Flex might actually change that. So while it's a little silly to compare a gaming monitor to a 77-inch TV, it could be fun and interesting to do some A/B comparison testing come review time to see how the two LG OLED panels stack up. Being well aware of consumer reservations surrounding OLED burn-in, Corsair has implemented an advanced pixel refresh burn-in prevention system that ensures a flawless image even after extended desktop use. And they'll be offering a 3-year zero burn-in and zero dead pixel warranty for peace of mind. For an optimal gaming experience, the matte display is treated with an anti-reflective coating that cuts glare and reflections, while a protective low blue light technology allows for long gaming sessions by greatly reducing eye strain. The stand is massive and has a thicker neck than the Rock, but surprisingly it's much lighter than it looks, at least with the prototype. Not sure about the final product. It features a front I/O which you don't see every day, sporting 2 USB 3.2 Type-A ports, a 3.5mm audio output, and an input select button within easy reach. This is a great idea in my book, and I'm glad that the super wide neck is at least being put to good use. Rear I/O connections include dual HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4, USB Type-C with DisplayPort Alt mode, 2 USB 3.2 Type-A ports, and USB-C upstream ports. I was a little bummed to learn that the stand only features tilt adjustment. Corsair claims that their decision to omit height adjustment is because the tilt option combined with the monitor's sheer size provides a sufficient field of vision. Having said that, I still would have liked the display to be just an inch or so higher to get the center of the screen eye level with me, which leads to another thing. The monitor does not support VESA mounting, so you're pretty much married to the included stand barring any modifications, which would likely void your warranty. If I end up using this display for personal use, I will definitely be getting a monitor stand to get it just right for my needs. In the end, time will tell how the display is received by the public once it's in the hands of customers. But in the meantime, I applaud Corsair for trying something brave and new, especially in a market in which they're just getting their feet wet. One thing is for sure though, this monitor has my attention. I'm excited to review it later this year, and I'm very curious how much it'll cost. Make sure to drop an MSRP you think would be fair down below, and don't say $420.69, because I already made that suggestion. As always guys, thank you so much for watching this one. Toss a like on the video before you go, get subscribed for more tech content on the way, and I'll see y'all in the next video.